This is just a little video where I want to talk about um, the uncertainty as to whether there actually is a God here. Um, Now, it just kind of pisses me off to an extent um, when I hear atheists say that, um, and I'm thinking about a few on YouTube right now. I don't want to specifically respond to them. Well, I would respond to one, but not to the other, because if I responded to one, it's just like talking to a wall. It's not really uh, you know. Professor Anton has tried to do a dialogue with him and has come to the conclusion that it's not really helpful to really talk to him like that. Um, but atheists say that they don't believe in any kind of God or anything like that, um, because of fact, logic, and they act like that they're so certain that there is not a God by any means. Um, Now, it's logical to go to science um, to figure out what there is and such, and they you know there are some atheists who are just going to stick to this neutral position that says all I'm going to say is that I don't believe in gods or God, and then there are other atheists who are going to um, try and say that I don't believe in God because of this, which involves evolution, a abiogenesis, and cosmogony. This kind of thing as to how all this got here, you know, um, that kind of thing, and they'll say that even though this stuff is theory and it's not fact, it's not proven, that it's totally certain that that this is the truth. Um, and then they act like that, theism and creationism does not have any science or any logic. If you want science and logic that argues for there being God, read Robin Collins, who gives a good fine tuning argument, who says that the things of the world are such as they are, and that if things were just a little bit different, if all these chemical things were just a little bit different, this place would not be as stable for life as it really is. And that and he doesn't argue for God, but he argues that it's unlikely that this could have happened so randomly. Um, this is a version of the teleological argument, and I have a full video on one of his articles on fine tuning. Um, but pretty much, the truth is that neither of us really know. Um, I had a comment on one of my videos when I was talking about um, atheism and science and such. He was saying that in reality we don't know, but this science is the biggest thing that we have to hold on to, but in reality we don't know. And I think that that's one big thing that we have to think about, is that in all this science and stuff, we still don't know, that nothing has been proven at all. So we don't know. None of us know. So you can't tell me, that this is logic, this is science, and that we have to, you know, use our brains and understand that there is no God, because in truth we don't know. And many atheists will say that because of all this evidence, buckets of evidence for no God, that we have to use logic and not believe in one, when really none of this stuff has been proven. So in reality, none of us know. Um, Creationists and theists don't know. I am a theist, but I'm still going to say um, I'm don't have full epistemic certainty of there being a God, and I'm not saying I'm losing my faith, but it's in being a theist, me personally, I'm not saying that I have epistemic certainty, because this is a high standard. I'm saying that because of certain experiences in my life that and because I have no knowledge, no empirical knowledge as to whether there really is one, nothing here in this world that is empirical and logical and factual can tell me whether or not there is a God. Really, there isn't. We don't know. Factually, empirically, we don't know. Um, so no creationist, no theist knows for epistemic empirical certainty that there is a God or no God. Nobody knows for a real epistemic empirical certainty whether there is a God. Nobody knows. And you can say that it's logical to hold on to these sciences, which it is. It is logical to hold on to onto science, but there is creationist and theist science which will argue towards there being a God, and lots of that is in the teleological sense, but it does there is science like that, and atheists who do argue for science that it's more logical to believe in science rather than in God, will say that theists don't believe that they have a responsibility to prove their God, when really the philosophers and the scientists who are creationists and theists do have science and stuff like that, which will argue for the likeliness of there being a God, rather than likeliness of there being no God. You just haven't found it. You haven't read it. You haven't read Robin Collins or J.P. Moreland. You haven't read these people. And if you want philosophy, that there's there's lots of that there too. So atheists are going to say that there's no theists who feel like they have a responsibility to argue their position, when really there is lots of us who do feel that responsibility. So my real point here is that creationist theists, none of us really know epistemic, full empirical certainty for what we see here. None of us really know, but because of certain experiences that we have in our life, we are led to no longer rely on empirical observation. Because of those certain experiences, we choose to move towards having faith, because we don't have any evidence here. We don't have any certainty here that we are more easily able to move towards some kind of faith. So I just think that we need to all move towards this kind of mindset that none of us really know, and creationists may say that they know, but that's through faith. They feel like we know through faith, but through empirical observation, it's hard for anybody to have epistemic certainty through faith or not.